Hey, what's up, guys? In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC going to the moon, or is BTC about to get rejected just about like a 8K area. So before I get it started, let me just make sure the sound is good. So as you can see, we're going to start off with the weekly time frame. It is very important, basically, to start off with the weekly time frame, because the type of volume we've been expecting, we already got almost half of it, and it is just about like Wednesday already. Okay. So it matters a lot, right? We already got 200,000 volume. If you take a look at it on Binance, bottom right corner, right, we got 195,000. And basically, as we expected this week, we said we needed BC basically to take it very slow until like but like Wednesday and Thursday it can start like pumping. Otherwise, if we pump like on Sunday night, right, Monday morning, whatever, we could basically lose some steam before end of the week, right? So so bulls basically, they did a great job to basically get the pump like in the middle of the week, right? So let me check the sound very quickly. So it is going to be very interesting, because if we're going to be expecting 400,000 total volume this week, and basically we already got half of it, it means like at some point, all right, we either gonna break this descending pattern on the volume, or we basically just gonna get our 400,000 400K, and then basically just with the full body candle, no selling pressure at all. So, and I don't think we're gonna get a pump without no selling pressure. So it is very good to keep that in mind. So let's take a look at the 3-day chart. So if you take a look at the 3-day chart, our previous target was like the 100 EMA on the 3-day chart was like just about like a 78 to 79 range. We basically broke it, and we said like if we break this area, we're most likely going to be looking very bullish, and we could be looking for mid 8K to up to like even 9K. But the concern is like, the concern was like, are we gonna be were we gonna be able to like break the low 8K? But as long as we got the big volume breakout on just about the low 8K, 79 to 8100, I was like, it is going to be at least breaking out up to 84 to 8500 range. So we just got rejected from 84. It still got some juice, okay? It still got some juice to go. So because the volume, like I said, on the weekly basis, we got 200,000 more, 200K more volume to receive for the next like 3 to 4 days. So even if 50% of those volumes, okay, is pretty much buying pressure, we still got some more room to grow, at least for the short term, right? So let's take a look at the 2-day chart. Similarly, the 2-day chart was a very important resistance, like in terms of like 100 EMA. We targeted the 100 EMA also. You can see like we're closing with a full body candle, and if you back test the 100 EMA on the 2-day chart, you can see like how we double bottom. All right, the head and shoulder we basically made on the bearish pattern on our way down, we made it on top of the 100 EMA on the 2-day chart. So it was a very important key area to break in order to continue the uptrend, at least for the short term, right? So it is very good to keep that in mind. So it is as of now, it is a bull territory. Wouldn't be looking for a short for BTC, right? Just put a stop loss and let it go. Okay, if you have a nice entry just about like a 79 to 81, it is pretty much safe as of now, right? And basically let it go all the way up to our next target to the upside, right? So let's take a look at the daily time frame now. Daily looking great in terms of a bull flag and basically a full body candle. So if you can see like most people basically been looking for this area of previous support to be a resistance, but you can see BC basically just smashed it, because we could say, all right, the bull flag we made in this area was so strong, very accumulative. So we basically did not have time to basically get rejected just about this area of 8K, right? So let's keep that in mind. The momentum is pretty strong. As you can see, as you can see, the bull flag, we only had like a one red volume was in this area, and it was so slow. It was so slow actually, and very low. So it was not enough like to basically stop like the breakout, at least for the short term, right? So let me take a look at the chat room. So I think like the sound is good. So let's take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci retracements. So you got two way to do the retracements, right? You can do it either from a swing high from like a 10.5 to basically 38, right? So 10.5 to 38, you can see like we already breaking out, breaking above the 0.618. So next target to look for. It doesn't mean we're gonna get to the next target today, but it is something like you just gotta keep in mind, at least for the next few days or so on, right? So next target to look for realistically, right, it is just about like a low 9k level, because if we just break this 0.618, it means like the next level you could be looking for, technically it is low 9k. So if you don't want to be too greedy, you just take your profit mid 8k, and then let the market do the work, right? So but you also could be taking a look at it in terms of a swing high to swing low from 14k all the way down to like a 3800, right? If you take a look at it that way, you also could be, you're also going to get 50% pullback at 9k. So it really doesn't matter how you look at it. 9k is in the card. It is just like a when are we going to get 9k? Are we going to get it today? Are we going to pump like a basically a 20% pump? It is very possible. The trend is very strong. I know all the indicators are on the lower degree pretty much very overbought, but when BTC is very bullish or very bearish, it does not care about like basically moving averages, basically indicators and stuff like that. You just have to pay attention to your volume and your structure. Otherwise, if you pay attention only to your indicators, they basically might mislead you, at least for the short term, right? So let's take a look at the 12-hour time frame. So 12-hour time frame, we discussed it last time, right? On Sunday, I gave you a great analysis regarding the MACD and our RSI. Okay, so if you take a look at, we're gonna start off with the RSI, because we said exactly the RSI and basically price, they are moving together. We don't have any sort of divergence. Okay, RSI is making let's make it blue, because last time it was blue, right? You can see RSI, what we said the was just about this area. Okay, so we did not touch it at all. So we said if we're going to be retesting this blue line, it's going to be very bullish, right? So MACD very bullish also, because MACD, that time MACD was just about this area, all right, was right around this area, and we basically said if we're going to be double tapping, it's going to be, most people are going to be looking at it as bearish, but it's not going to be bearish. It is going to be bullish, because MACD is, your RSI is already bullish. MACD most likely going to give you high, right? Right now you don't have any sort of divergence. You got your highs, right, and then your high lows, right? And at the same time, all your indicators basically confirming your price action. So it is not easy basically as of now to be finding like some bearish momentum. And at the same time, volume, like I've been saying, we're not seeing like a lot of bears participating into the market. So they basically no bears, at least for the short term, like over the last few days. Okay, yes, when you're doing short term trade, you might be looking at like 200 point, 300 point drops, but it doesn't mean the market is bearish. All right, it doesn't mean like the trend, this current trend is like extremely it doesn't mean it is extremely bearish, but at least for the short term, the overall structure, as long as we below like a 10k to 12k level, we're still in a very strong downtrend. It is something you just have to keep in mind. So in order to basically not be looking for like a $50,000 BTC before the next within the next few weeks or so on, right? So MACD looking great, no divergence, right? So far, high highs, price making high highs, very important, right? no sort of slowing down in price. Your RSI is looking great, so it is something that we just have to keep in mind, right? So another important aspect also on the MACD. So if you go back back in 2019, you can see let's see. So as you can see, like the peak of the 14K, right, was the highest peak when we basically retested 14K, right? So it matters a lot, right? So but since then we haven't seen like a big peak, like try to match at least the 14K. You can see like even though from a 20K, you know, to 14K we made a, you know, lower high, but at least for the short term we haven't seen a another lower high, okay, just like that. So we need to break this trend line. If we're going to be able to break this, let me just zoom it in. If we're going to be able to break this trend line, bull's going to be a very aggressive, okay? So if we break this trend line, I don't see us basically breaking this area without breaking 14K. So you see what I'm saying? Just like we did not break the 20K top, we did not break the 20K top. So I don't see us breaking this level without breaking 14K. So we can go up, you know, break all these you know, break all these resistances on the MACD and go all the way up, make another, you know, lower high, but you know, without breaking 14K. But if we're gonna be breaking this level on the 12-hour time frame, most likely it could mean BC going to be breaking basically you know, 14K. So pay attention to your 12-hour MACD. No sort of resistance so far. It is breaking out cleanly. Yeah, you could be saying, okay, we're breaking out cleanly above this area of resistance. So, you know, let's just keep an eye on it, at least for the short term, until we see like a strong resistance, basically to look for some downside or target, right? So I'm going to take a look at the lower degree now on a 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour, basically everything is looking, especially your RSI is looking like pretty much very overextended, and but it is not doing, it is not bad, okay? It is 82, all right? It is 82. We can still retrace down and make some basically some divergences, but at least for the short term, no sort of divergence, okay? So it is not easy to basically short the market when you don't see like any evidences to short it. Would at least let it run at least within the next few hours, few days, move sideways or something like that before you know, you're looking for some target to the downside, right? So let's take a look at the hourly. So hourly time frame still looking great, overbought on the, you know, on the RSI is overbought, right? You could be expecting like some sideways correction. You got your 21 EMA just about this area. It is currently our 21 EMA just about like a 79, 73. So a drop from 8400 to a 79, 73. It is going to be a big drop. So let's see if the bull is going to be able to keep the price within this area of 81 to 83 level, okay? It can dip down to like 81, but it has to be bought up very quickly with a, you know, and if we drop, you have to drop with a lower volume. So it is something like you got to keep in mind on your volume, okay, especially on Binance, right? So you want to keep seeing like these type of small volumes on the hourly time frame, at least for the short term, for the trend to be strong enough. So on the 15 minutes, we just got a very big selling pressure, right? It kind of slowed down the momentum, at least for the short term. Hey, what's up, Anonymous? Thanks a lot. On the lower degree, you can see like we got a very big selling pressure, right? It is going to slow down the the momentum, but pay attention to your basically 15 minutes your 15 minutes RSI. All right, it is actually overbought, big divergence. So if you look, especially if you're scalping, okay, you got a very big divergence. If we retest like this area of oversold, I don't think like it's going to be oversold unless we got a very big like sell off, stuff like that. But this range of support going to be very important for the bulls. our side has to stay above this level in order to keep up the momentum. Otherwise, it's just going to slow down the pressure, the upward pressure, and then we could be looking for like a sideways correction, another basically divergence, bullish divergence before going back up. But as long as we stay above this level of 85, bull's going to be in control on a lower degree. So no bearish momentum, at least for the short term. I mean, dealing with emotion is not, it's not very easy. I mean, even the most basically experienced traders, they have to deal with emotion. All right, so it is just something like you just have to practice. Not if you're very uncomfortable with your position, don't take a big position. Take take a small position. All right, and avoid trying to basically trade a lot, taking a lot of trades a day, in and out and stuff like that. Time it, be careful, do not go all in and stuff like that, or taking like 100x position, stuff like that. If you just do it moderately, you should be okay. All right, it should be okay. So you shouldn't be taking a position like to be worried. If you worry about your position, it means like either your position is too big, or you're not basically you're not comfortable, basically with your entry and stuff like that. So do not take like a big position, regardless how juicy the market is. Take a mild position, something like, even if your stop loss is hit, you're gonna be okay. All right. Do I think of a retest of 14K? A retest of 14K, I talk about it on the macro scale. All right. The other day I gave you a macro view. Let's go to Bybit. So Bitstamp. Good guy, Bitstamp. So let's say if a retest of a 14K going to invalidate basically a retest of 2800, not necessarily. It all depends like how you look at it. All right, because we can wick to 14K. Like I said, I showed you the move XIP made right just by this area. You can see like we got a pullback. All right. So we got a nice pullback in this area, and you got your three-way move pullback also. In yellow, and we got a big sell-off down, right? So, and we could get this move back up, right? This move can still be your X. All right, we can retest 14K as long as we don't break it. We can retest 14K and still drop down. All right, not saying we're gonna retest 14K, but I'm saying in terms of wave analysis, a retest of 14K, as long as we do not break it and go like a 15, 16, it is still going to be a clean WXY correction. It is going to be a clean WXY correction. You're still gonna get your W, X, and Y correction, right? So it is something like just have to keep in mind, because WXY correction, it is basically three-way move, right? So you can still get your 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna get this move, three-way move up, and then you're gonna get this capitulation also. It is still going to be a correction. You see what I'm saying? So, and you also got a bigger correction within this range from 20K, right? From 20K, we said that we got a W, right? X, and then we're looking for a Y correction. You see what I'm saying? So your Y correction can be a flat. So it doesn't have to be a single, like a three-way move down, like a, let's see. Your Y correction, the bigger Y correction, this big Y from 14K. We got W, X and Y. Let me change it and make it a white. All right, so this WXY, you can make it a WXY with a three-way move, all right. All right, this could be 1, 2, and three-way move. All right, so it is something like just have to keep in mind. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be like we're going to go to 14K and like a June we're going to drop down to 2800. It took like almost like 6 months, guys, to drop like almost 9 months, okay, to drop from like from this level of 14K all the way down to like 3800. So you know, it is something you just gotta be you gotta keep in mind. I don't think like we're gonna drop all the way down to 14K like within the next few days or so on, right? I mean 2800 within the next few days or so on. So I would just like to play it as it is, and you know, be cautious. Like I said, this move is still, you know, we can go all the way up to like a 10K 10.5 and make this move. This also gonna give you a three-way move similarly to what we made previously, just like this. All right, when we drop right there, we made this move. I was saying like we're gonna drop down to 42.55 level, right? So if I zoom it out and price wants to do the same thing, right, just like what XRP did, this move, we can still make this move and do this. All right, I'm gonna show you XRP again. No, it's 3500 is not out, man. You might not get it when you want it. That's the thing. It's not like it's out. It's just like when BTC was at 10.5. Everybody was like, oh, I was like saying we're still gonna drop down to 42 to 55, right? But everybody was like, oh, 16, 20, 50, 30. So you just gotta be, it's just a timing, okay? It's just a timing. But I still believe we 28 even 2K BTC is still in play. Let's take a look at XRP. Let's just do it like this. So I'm also going to talk about the that's the move I'm showing you, okay? So let's take a look at it versus XRP. Okay, so BTC is to the right, XRP to the left, right? So if you take a look at XRP, after we got this big sell-off, like from like roughly around like a 50 cents, right, down in blue, BTC made a beautiful, not BTC, but King XRP made a beautiful three-way move pullback, right? That was a swell, October, just about October, right? Everybody was like, oh, we're going to the moon. And I was like, let's be careful. All right, we got another move down to 13 cents. I was calling for 13 cents too soon, but we got bought up just about this level in blue again at 17 cents, right? And price pumped back up in yellow, right? So that move XRP made just about this area, okay? BTC could be making it in yellow right there, in yellow, okay? So that's why I'm saying, even if we break this level of 10.5, you know, it is still going to be in play. You see, as you can see, XRP broke like what, 32 cents and pumped like to just about 34, 35, right? But the main thing to remember is like we basically push above this internal correction, right? So push above it, BTC can still push above it. So if BTC, you know, the bulls basically very strong, they can pump up to like a 14K. It's not going to change anything about the structure. It's just going to be overextended. So price level, as long as we don't break 14K, we still got this chance. That's why I'm saying the bear market could last another 2.5 years. So most people think like, you know, at least for the short term, the way I'm basically analyzing the market, right? Because every push to the upside could take like a 3 to 6 months, right? This move alone could take like another 6 months basically before we drop down to this level. So maybe September, October, stuff like that, November, right? So you gotta keep that in mind, right? So we could be in this bear market for another 2.5. Back into 2017, if you told somebody like, you know, you're going to be in a bear market for 2.5 years, they're going to be like, you crazy. In 2021, BTC going to be 100,000 or 300,000. That's what, you know, that's what everybody was saying back in 2017. 3 to 5 years, BTC going to be 1 million. So we just have to be careful, all right? It's not like to say we are bearish, extremely bearish and stuff like that. It's not about like how bearish you are or how bearish I am. It is just market structure. We just, you know, say it as it is and respect the market as it is, and then play it as it is. Okay. The hardest thing is like timing. Sometimes you can understand like the structure exactly. Like when BTC was at 10.5, we said once we drop down to 42.55 level, we're going to be looking for 12K. So when we were looking for 12K, BTC was at 10.5. So it's not like we just started pumping and we're saying 12K. So, but let's not call 12K too soon, because we got multiple resistances we have to go through. 85, 9K, 10K at 10.5. I don't think it's going to be a big resistance at 10.5. It's a done deal. We just have to get through 9K, and then that's it. The rest going to be pretty much the bulls can take care of the rest, I think, at least for the short term, right? Because 10.5 is not a big issue, right? So let's keep that in mind. You see this move in yellow. That's what XRP did back you know, back in like February and so on, right? So before the capitulation. So we got this move in yellow, so we just gotta let it complete. We don't have any sign of reversal so far. It's not like to say like we're in a bull market, but there is no sign of reversal. So I wouldn't try to force the trend, at least for the short term, right? I mean, it all depends. If you like a huddling, you know, I would say, you know, it's not financial advice, but it is not a bad time to buy. You know, it is not a bad time to buy, but you just don't want to go all in. Okay, you want to, you know, moderately, you know, buy in. You know, so, but it is looking good. 5-day is calling for a buy. You guys remember when BTC was roughly around this area? Even though I was bearish, you know, I made a lot of videos say don't sell your BTC, don't do this, don't do that. I made plenty of you know, updates about like, you know, BTC 12K and so on, right? But you know, at the same time, I was looking for this move. All right, it's not like I'm saying like, oh, we're gonna go up straight up. All right, so but market is, you know, markets do whatever they want. They don't care about how you feel, right? So let's take a look at the 5-day chart for BTC again, because it is quite important to pay attention to our MACD once again. And we're going to talk about Ethereum next, right? Especially if you like to swing trade Ethereum, you just have to pay attention to Ethereum on a weekly basis. I said it multiple times, even last year when, not last year, but this year when Ethereum was breaking out at 190, something like that, we basically just took it all the way up to, started long in Ethereum from 190 and so on, all the way up almost to 300, right? I think 290 or so on, right? When it started to turn bearish and so. So BTC. So one thing we just have to keep in mind in terms of MACD, I said it when BTC was at 10.5, even before the drop, all right? So we said the 5-day chart we're gonna need for a bullish divergence. Why 5-day chart, right? Because you gotta think about it in sequence, right? The daily chart, you get a bullish divergence, right? 2-day chart, you already got your we had a bullish divergence on a 2-day chart just about this area last year, right? With the 40% pump, we got this divergence, right? And we pump, right? The 3-day chart and basically the 4-day chart was, you know, they basically shared the same divergence. As you can see, we pumped, right? And I was like, you know, in order to get another big pump to the upside, we're gonna have to pay attention to 4-day chart and 5-day chart, right? You see, I was like, the 5-day chart gonna look better because the 4-day might be giving you a slight decline. Okay, this one, if you don't cheat, you might say like, you know, it's declined, right? But if you just don't care, you just say, oh, it's flat, right? But the 5-day is pretty clean, like a beautiful, you know, high lows on your MACD and price action. making low low, right? So we said we're gonna have to anticipate something like this, all right? And basically we got it. Basically we got the crossover. It is looking very bullish, and at the same time the crossover came up with, we got a breakout. Okay, we got almost 10%. It could be 15-20% breakout with a crossover, similarly to what we got the 40% pump, right? You guys remember on the 2-day chart, once we had that MACD crossover on the 2-day chart, we got a 40% pump. So it is something that we gotta keep in mind. That's why I'm saying BTC pumping 40% is not like don't be like, oh, we pump 40%, because it's in the chart. All right, it's in the chart. So 5-day is extremely bullish. All right, so if you just trade BTC based on the MACD, all you have to do is just wait for basically a divergence on your basically 2-day, 3-day, and basically 4 and 5-day. You don't even have to wait for the weekly, because sometimes by the time the weekly is, you get your weekly MACD crossing over, you know, BTC might already pump, like maybe just like it did right now, like a pump already 120%, stuff like that, right? So you just gotta keep that in mind. So 5 days looking great, all right? But the bears, okay, they got a good news, all right? If you bearish for BTC and still looking for some good numbers, I said it's the first week of what? The first week of February 6th, right? And I was like, this move we got, okay, give us a very big move to the upside, right? So even though I'm expecting BTC to drop from this level, I was expecting, all right, BTC to drop. I said in order to get 12K, we're gonna need another double bottom, okay, on basically on your 3-day chart. So if you basically miss the, I don't think nobody missed the pump, because it is just about 83. It can go all the way up to 12K, right? So if you're thinking like you still got another chance to buy, wait for the next big capitulation. The next big capitulation gonna give you a basically MACD double crossover, just like this one, and that one gonna be more powerful, because you're getting like back-to-back MACD. Okay, it's gonna look like a head and shoulder, right? So like I said, this head and shoulder, most of the time they don't play out, right? So it's gonna look like a head and shoulder. It's gonna be very powerful, and then we could be looking for a very big move, even, you know, could break even 14K. But it all depends. Okay, let's not be too bullish too soon, too bearish too soon. When you take a look at your 3-day MACD, when you take a look at your 5-day MACD, you don't have anything to say. You just have to go long. Okay, you just have to go long if you know, if that's what you want to go by. So let me take a look at the, hey, what's up, Akin? So I will take a look at so hey guys, what's up, man? Make sure to hit the likes, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the content. So it is looking good so far. So it is just gonna be very volatile. This candles means a lot, all right? The way we're gonna close this candle means a lot, right? And especially on a weekly basis, right? It means a lot, right? So closing with a rejection candle, closing anywhere below like a 76 this week could be doomed. Okay, we don't want to close like this, all right? We do not, you know, want to close like this back in late June, right? June 2019. So it is something like you just have to keep in mind, right? So many people also, guys, many traders, they basically you know, bearish with this descending volume, all right? So if you've been following my channel back in 2019, right, when BTC was making these high lows, lower volume, I was extremely bullish, all right? Even though volume was decreasing, I was showing you guys on the Heikin Ashi candle. It is very important, okay? Heikin Ashi was very important. So you can see like BTC was still making like a no tails, okay, on the Heikin Ashi. Everything was pretty much smooth, just like this. Everything is smooth, no tail, even though volume is decreasing, we haven't even seen a big breakout yet. If we're gonna get this big breakout, all right, we could easily go up to like a 12K. So it is something like we just have to keep in mind, right? On the Heiken Ash, all right, your weekly time frame, volume is decreasing, price is decreasing, no tail. That's extremely powerful, all right? So that's the same method we did right there. We used last time to basically end spade it basically to pump to 6K. If you go back, watch any of my videos, February, March, January, February, March last year, I was saying like we're going to 6K, 10K. And as soon as we hit basically 7K, first week of June, I was targeting 11, 12K, right? I was saying like 11 and 12K. You can go back and check my videos like June 4th through June 7th. And I was basically got a big sell-off in this area. This level of this one I'm gonna show you on the daily. All right, this big sell-off, right? This big sell-off, right? 15, almost 15% dump, and I was like, we're going to 12K after, while we making this, 16% dump, and I was like, next target is basically 11, 12. So let's keep that in mind. We're gonna get a very, very big breakout. Okay. So volume is never gonna go to zero, right? So it means the lower the volume drop and the higher the price goes, basically, the more explosive your breakout going to be. Just like what we got in this area when I was saying it, right? I was saying like we're gonna get a very, very big volume, especially on the monthly time frame. I was showing you on the monthly, you're gonna get a very, very big volume. And if you get that volume, you're most likely gonna hit 42 to 55, right? We hit 3,800. So let's keep that in mind. But this volume could be green, guys. So if it is green, it's gonna look great. It's gonna look great. So do not short BTC without no confirmation. That's what that's what I would say. All right. So if we break this trend line, we're gonna break it very soon, guys. On a weekly basis, I would say like no later than May. We're gonna break this trend line, and let's see if this volume is green, guys. It's gonna look great, right? It's gonna look great. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated as far as like a volume breakout within the next few weeks. As at Keen, I sold Ethereum 183. I mean, Ethereum, I'm just looking for like a, it can go up to 260. That's why I'm saying like why BTC is also very bullish, because Ethereum target is like up to like a 260 level, but I don't want to call 260 too early, right? So I'm just looking for like at the 220 level first and see how it goes. So basically BTC, we talk about the only thing we did not talk about is like the monthly time frame, monthly engulfing. You don't want to short a monthly engulfing candle. So let's see. All right, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I don't see anything crazy on a monthly basis. It just going back to retest just about 8,500, which was like a previous month up on previous month high is like 91. So let's see if we're going to be able to retest a previous month high at 91 before before the monthly close, right? Monthly candle close. It's going to be very challenging, but it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, I'm just going to talk about the weekly basis because I already told you many times, guys, if Ethereum closes above the 25 MA, which was like 169, it is going to be bullish. All right, so no need to waste time with Ethereum shorting it. Ethereum. Let's take a look at Polona. It is moving slow though. Let's take a look at on the weekly. So that's the only moving average. I care about for Ethereum. You got other multiple moving averages. Okay, you can take a look at your 200, 100, whatever. But the 25 MA works perfectly for Ethereum in terms of like a big breakout, a big downside, or a big move to the upside, right? So one thing I'm keeping an eye on for Ethereum, guys, it is a 25 MA. We already broke it, so I'm gonna have to pay attention to another moving average to the upside, right? So which is basically the 100 EMA. Okay, so 100 EMA, we almost at the 100 EMA. So and 100 EMA is at 216. So if we break, I'm waiting for Ethereum to break 216 to 220 for me to basically be bullish again. But as of now, I would be very, very careful. The closer we get to 216 and up to 220, I would be very careful in that range. All right, it could be very tricky. A lot of upside and downside stuff like that. Another way of looking at it also, not basically a wave analysis, but in terms of like a trend lines, you could just pay attention to this trend line, right? It is going to take you just about like a 250. So so if you get a clean breakout above like a 220, it is going to be nice to ride it all the way up to like a 250 to 260 level. All right, so let's keep that in mind, right? So Ethereum, as we said it previously, when Ethereum was dropping, we also said this move going back up all the way up and retest the top or even break it, right? It's not going to change anything about the structure, right? It's not going to change anything. And if you take a look at it also from swing high to swing low to swing high, right? From the previous bull market, right around this area of $5. That's a moon boy analysis. The moon boy. Let's take the log scale. Ethereum double bottom at 50%, right? Just like silver and Litecoin, Dash, they all bottom like at a 50% pullback, right? So let's see if we're going to be able to come down and retest 0.618. It is very important. So I don't think markets, guys, I don't think market just gonna pump like randomly. All right, so a double bottom at 50%, strong pullback. If we get rejected, we just have to pay attention to like a low $50 to $60 Ethereum. I don't think like this $80 range going to be any issues anymore. All right, so let's keep that in mind. But first thing first, we're gonna need a rejection. And BTC basically has to be bearish in order for Ethereum to retrace down, right? So upside target, temporary upside target for Ethereum. Pay attention to your 100 weekly EMA, which is currently at 216 up to 220. All right. So and if you if you're a moon boy and you're looking for Ethereum to pull back, swing high to swing low, you can't just go all the way up to 0.618, which is like a $500 almost, right? If you're that bullish, right? I don't have a call for Ethereum to retest $500 as long as we stay within this trend line. You got two type of trend line. You can take this one. You can take this one, right? Or you can just take this one. Whichever you want. Okay, they both valid depending on your strategy. If we break this one, it is pretty valid also to be to start looking for like I said, to start looking for like a $500. I just rounded up, it's like a 470, right? 470 or stuff like that. 0.618 pullback. Let me just do it again. As you can see, we got rejected at 50%, right? It is quite amazing to pay attention to your fib retracement sometime, right? So swing low to swing high, 50% pullback, right? You can see just about like a 88 to 86 level, right? And if you do a swing high to swing low, we pull back 50% again. Okay, 50% again. So now we double bottom. So are we gonna go all the way up to 50% and double tap? I would say like we're gonna be, if we break this level, we're gonna be going to 0.618. That's what I would go for and be extremely bullish, right? But like I said, once again, it does not mean we're going to the moon, because this is still a correction on the bigger picture, right? It is still a bigger correction like this, right? You could be looking for. So just like what XRP did, I showed you like just like XRP move, right? So let's keep that in mind. So that's the same move actually Ethereum is attempting to, could be making, right? So you got this downtrend in blue, and then you got this move, right, in a corrective move. And what you're expecting after that, if we get the rejection, you just have to expect this downtrend, and then we could be looking for this move, right? So that's a possible setup for Ethereum. All right, so it's a possible setup for Ethereum. So if you haven't watched my basically Ethereum analysis back in January, when I was saying like Ethereum could retest like 250 to 300, that was like first week of January. You can go and check it out, right? So let's take a look at Litecoin next. FGC. Oh man, we at 83.40. Man, guys, don't just put your stop loss. I mean, it's not financial advice. Don't try to short this market right now. It's not time to be some doom boys right now. Just let it do whatever it wants to do. Right, so Litecoin is actually very strange for some reason, but you can take a look at it also. It has a nice pullback from the previous bull market, from swing low to swing high, right? You can see like we pulled back like at, just about 50% pullback, right? Similar to Dash, Ethereum and so on, right? And only BTC pulled back to 382, right? At 382 or something like that. So that's why the BTC dominance is going up, because when we're going down, instead of BTC dropping 50%, BTC going to drop 30%, and the rest of the market dropping 50%. So BTC dominance going up. So you can see we double bottom just like Ethereum. So let's see if Litecoin is going to give us this correction up to this level. All right, so it means if we're going to get this correction back to like a 78, it means BTC could go back up to 10.5, right? So unless like a BTC dominance keep going up and Litecoin is now going to make a flat within this range, it could make a triangle also, right? Nothing, I mean, it is not guaranteed it is going to be a flat, because it can be something like this, right? Something like that. So but the easiest pattern to anticipate is just a flat, but you don't necessarily have to get a flat, because it is just easier to draw. But pattern wise, you can get this too, right? You see what I'm saying? So but let's just see if like Litecoin can push back up. Volume is pretty low on Bitfinex. Let's check it on Binance. Whoa, 83.50. So guys, make sure to basically subscribe if you haven't done so. You can also join our public Telegram group. If you want to join my premium group, send me a message once you join our basically public Telegram group. Looking good. So weekly volume not looking bad, right? Not so great, but it is not looking bad at all. So we're about to get a weekly bullish divergence also. I'm pretty sure the 5-day we already got it for Litecoin. So Litecoin not looking bad, guys, even though we got a very bearish previous bearish weekly candle. So we just need to break this resistance, right, for Litecoin, which is like a 45, and then we could target like a 62 that on the on the 5-day chart, right? You're just going for your next basically next resistance, okay? In terms of a retracement, let's see if like we got a nice confluence. Exactly, you can see like it is also just about 0.786, right? So Is it possible for Litecoin to pump to 63? Absolutely. BC is pumping. Litecoin can go much faster. If if BC basically cool off, Litecoin can take up the take the basically pump to the upside. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say, right? So let's keep that in mind, right? It is bullish. I don't see anything bearish about Litecoin as of now. As far as like the higher degree, let's take a look at the 12-hour. 12-hour volume looks great. All right, looks great. We got this curve. Most likely volume going to try to pick up and try to retest this high. All right, so it means, all right, it's not time to be messing with Litecoin. All right, it's not time to be messing with Litecoin, right? So we got a small resistance just about this area, right? Yes, if you like trend line, you could be calling for a downside breakout with this wedge if you like trend line. But let's see, BC is bullish, so I wouldn't be, if we break this level, you just go with the trend. That's it. Don't try to make it complicated. Can we drop? Absolutely. This move can still be a correction before the drop. You see what I'm saying? So we can get this corrective move before pumping. All right. So let's just confirm it with a break above 47. Okay, 47. If we break above 47 strongly, just like what BC did, up to like a 49 to 51, you just take it to the upside. Don't do not try to short it. So any thought on Komodo? I haven't checked Komodo forever, so I think somebody asked about Tezos. Oh no, let's take a look at King XRP. So XRP Binance. So XRP looking very convincing. Broke resistance. Last time I analyzed XRP, I was basically anticipating XRP to drop, right? But I was like, if we break this level, we got resistance right here, right? But you can see XRP is very resilient. It is just it is just pumping, even though like MACD is pretty much not very strong. Your RSI basically not very strong like BTC, right? But it is looking very strong. Okay, even though it's double tapping on the MACD, it could still do like BTC. It can still like break this level on the MACD. It means like we most likely going to retest this level, okay, of 25 cents, right? So let's keep that in mind, right? 24 to 25 cents. We got nice support just about 20 cents. So that's your first support where you need to pay attention to. A break below 20 cents could send us back to like 18, 19 cents. So bulls got to be able to keep a high volatility range within this level of 20 to 21 in order to push the upside, right? So XRP upside target, next resistance going to be roughly 24 to 25, right? So let's keep that in mind. So let's move on to Tezos. Tezos looking good. No sign of reversal so far for Tezos. I would not be shorting it as of now. Would not. We just about 0.786. Yes, you got a valid reason for a possible drop, but in terms of structure wise on the daily, I don't see any reason basically to be shorting Tezos besides like we just had a 0.786 and it can push all the way up to like a $3.30 and or even double top. So let's keep that in mind. We price action looking very strong. No sign of reversal. No sign of a basically sell-off. Trend line looking very strong. Pattern looking very strong. We're breaking all fib levels with a very good volume. No selling pressure whatsoever. MACD looking great, right? RSI looking great, not overbought yet on the daily. 12 hour looking okay. All right, it is looking okay. It could be better, but so we could expect some like this for Tezos before pushing back up. So a retest of like a 250 range is very probable, or if it is strong enough, sometimes they don't have to do any flat you know, they don't have to make any flat correction. They can just pump strongly to the upside, right? So let's keep that in mind, just like what it did in this range. So I didn't even realize it did it, but sometimes when they're very strong, you're anticipating a flat, like, you know, a drop, pump, drop before pushing. It's not gonna do it. They're just gonna drop and pump. So let's keep that in mind. It is looking very strong. I would just target like next level of a, you know, just about 320 range. Okay, 320. All right, guys. So if you guys don't have any question, I'm just gonna take a look at BTC really quickly once again, and I'm gonna call it a day. Neo $9. Looking great. That's a pound. So it is still looking good, guys. That's a 12-hour, looking great, guys. So in order to be bearish at all, guys, we just have to lose 77. Okay, we just have to lose it as soon as possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't be messing with a you know, lower target right now. Okay, so no sign of reversal. As you can see on a 12-hour basis, we broke resistance. Most people want to, you know, gonna look for 81, right? That's why I said just wait for BC to break a, you know, low 8K strongly, and you can just take it and put a stop loss at entry and basically just sit tight, relax. We don't have any resistance whatsoever until basically almost 93, guys, all the way up to 93. That's kind of a pretty juicy, right? Even if you take a long right now, I'm not saying to go take a long, but I'm saying even if you long it at 83, you know, with a stop loss at, you know, just about like this let's zoom it in. This candle, this below this candle, you know, just to be safe, below this candle, you're still okay. Okay, you're still okay. But the best thing to do was like to take it like just about this level of 81. Okay, as soon as we close this one, this basically daily candle close. All right. So yep, so that was the best entry, 81. Put a stop loss just about 77, and then let it go, right? But most people can do a 400-point stop loss, because if your leverage is too high, you're not going to be, if you're doing 25x, you're not going to be able to put your stop loss at 77 and entering at 81, right? But if you do a mild stop loss, 2 to 3, I mean mild leverage, 2 to 3, you can still afford to do this and look for what? Look for 91, right? 5%, and look for this move, 13%, right? That's almost 3 to 1. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Thomas, EOS, I forgot to take a look at EOS. So EOS is kind of slow. Oh man, let's see EOS. Oh yeah, EOS right there, I got it. So EOS, the pattern we could anticipate if we get a rejection. Let's see. Yeah, EOS is not showing any sign of rejection. The pattern I was anticipating for EOS was like this move. Okay, That's what but it gave us a wedge. All right, so we just have to anticipate it. A further breakout for EOS. BTC is looking strong. EOS most likely going to break out. So best thing to do, right, I would wait for the breakout or just anticipate the breakout, jumping in just by this area and put a stop loss very tight, you know, just by like a 266, right, and then let it ride. You got a resistance, but it most likely, if basically going to 9K, EOS going to break this level of 320. All right, so it is going. Let's take a look at EOS BTC. It's going to tell us how EOS is doing, how well EOS is doing basically. So it's not doing so great versus BTC, right? Yeah, it's not doing so well versus BTC, but the good thing is like when you take a look at it versus BTC, it's kind of making a sort of a head and shoulder, right, pattern, right? So you know, it means most of the time these patterns, they don't play out, they pump back up. So if you know EOS gonna pump back up versus BTC, you're expecting a reversal versus BTC, it means EOS USD going to be very, very bullish. All right, so let's keep that in mind. So just pay attention to EOS BTC and look for this move to retest the low. You got this correction move, look for this move to retest the low. It can even break it, okay, and then you're going to be looking for a retest of the top. Okay, so if EOS BTC basically double bottom, that's going to be a good time to basically look for further move from EOS on EOS USD, at least for the short term, right? So all right guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. Be careful out there. Market going to be be careful out there. Market going to be very volatile within the next few hours, few days, stuff like that. BTC is still looking very, very aggressive. You know, no sign of reversal so far. Next, you know, top level, maximum, not maximum, but next basically a big area to really pay attention to. It's not even mid 8K, but mid 8K, if you're long it from low 8K, you want to secure some profit in case like we got some, you know, crazy stuff going on. You already secure some profit, let the rest run all the way up to a, you know, 88 to a 9K level, even up to 91. But I wouldn't be waiting for I'm not going to be waiting for all the way up to 91. Okay, so 86 to 86 to 84.50 start, you know, taking profits, and every time it goes 1%, you want to secure some more profits, and then so you won't be worrying about like you know, big sell-off and stuff like that, right? All right guys, thanks a lot for watching.